Here is the dump truck S10. I use it to go to the dump all the time. Constantly, using it for what it's made to use. The entire thing was built with junkyard parts, basically. Almost everything in here is recycled, with the exception of the oil pan. The oil pan was cracked by the guys who pulled it out, the motor, out of the truck. I wanted to pull it out, but they wouldn't let me. And I had to buy a couple of U-joints down there for my steering shaft that I made. Other than that, I'm pretty sure there was some Amazon fuel line purchased, and literally I'm 95% everything else came from the junkyard, including relay boxes and junk relays, and it doesn't always last very long, by the way. Sometimes it gets all rained on, but basically free. So that being said, you can see here along this line, I did push that back. I probably could have got it on there if I taken off the beauty cover off of the intake manifold, and if I had lifted the cab up and then set that back down on it. However, I'm not sure I would have gotten away with the head clearance, because the heads would be very, very close to the original firewall. Very close to the original firewall. Also, I really didn't think this was going to be the last time I was putting this in here. And I wanted it to come in and out one piece. I also bought the motor and transmission together as one piece. It had never been separated. Out of a 2015 Silverado, had 11,000 miles on it. $2,500. Junkyard, 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 you name it, junkyard. Oh, I take that back. Walmart, cheap Honda battery, or it's made for a Honda. As y'all know, these new Gen 5 does not come with power steering. Tucked down in here is a power steering pump out of a Volvo. I can't remember what it was, but one of the Volvos. They're located in the passenger. Harper, come here. In the passenger front wheel well, in front, behind the headlight on those cars, and it works pretty good. Also, these motors don't create a lot of vacuum, and a lot of people are like, no, it's fine, you can run the vacuum booster pump. You can. And I also noticed that the motor didn't really particularly like it. When I was sitting at a stoplight, I'm pretty sure my vacuum booster was leaking. And being it was a junkyard build, I kind of went with this route, which is a hydro boost. It came out of a 1-ton Chevy van. And I just bolted up the S10. Harper, come here. Bolted up the S10 master cylinder to it. Works pretty good. Sometimes it's a little slow. I don't know what the deal is, whether or not it's the combination of like a really loose power steering box or an overzealous hydro boost, because probably a little overpowered for this little truck. And it stops really good, even though it only has front brakes. The rear brakes, S10, rear end lifestyle. Rear ends in these things are disposable when you've got stuff like this under the hood. Or not disposable, but more like wear and tear items. Original ECU out of there, running some HP tuners. Honestly, I wish I could remember which wires it was to make this work. And I'm not going to do anybody the trouble of telling them how to do it anymore. They can figure it out just like I did. The fuel pump, by the way, gets run off of the fuel pump original module, which is down there mounted on the firewall. I cut the top of the fuel tank open and mounted the original. Actually, we can look right here on this tank since it's off. I cut this out right here, and I welded in some tabs basically on this, and then built this around too, and dropped in the 2015 fuel sending unit right into there with the locking collar and everything into the 87 gas tank. Works fantastic. And even on the HP tuners and on the torque module, using this cheap like $9 Amazon scanner, you can see the fuel level, which is fantastic. Without that module, you can't control the pulse width modulated fuel pump if you use it. It's really nice because the ECU then controls that module to control the fuel pressure going to that injector pump so it doesn't boil it and all that nonsense. There's a lot of debate on that, but it literally can't get any simpler than I just have one fuel line hooked up to this back to the tank. I don't have any breathers hooked up or anything. Works fine. I literally don't even have them like this, the wire to the evap canister, this purge valve. It's completely disconnected. It runs great. Now as far as the firewall and stuff goes, again, junkyard, okay? Recycled material, everything in here, recycled material. I just cut this and lifted it up about 4 inches to fit the monster 6L80. It's got the 2015 Silverado drive-by-wire. Runs off of the key. All right. Everything comes on with the key. Also, this came out of like a 2005 Envoy Denali XL. It literally clipped right onto the 6L80 2015 transmission. On it and it goes up to 212 with one fan running and comes right back down immediately.